And finally, new rule. Stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma. Sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Megyn Kelly and Bill Maher just turned The View into a full-on train wreck, one we all saw coming from a mile away. In a plot twist as shocking as rain in Seattle, America's most unfiltered duo dropped truth bombs so explosive, the panel was left blinking in stunned silence. If awkward tension were an Olympic event, The View would have taken home gold. What did they say? How brutal was it? Let's just say daytime TV may never emotionally recover from this on-air detonation. Stick around. This meltdown is the kind of glorious chaos you do not want to miss.
Disgusting. She's Anna Navarro in your wildest imagination. You could never solo host a show. You will only ever make it as part of an ensemble, and you could never hope to achieve the success that Tucker Carlson has. So you can sit in your little cheap seats all day long and enjoy your little negative henpecking, but your careers are going nowhere, and Tucker is about to dominate in whatever space.
It's called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting that it's called, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America. There is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
What happens when two media, veterans armed with wit, IQ, and actual arguments, take aim at a table full of professionally offended daytime hosts? You get a takedown so brutally elegant, The View didn't even need to be live for the roast to land. Megyn Kelly and Bill Maher didn't just clap back, they slow-roasted the entire panel with precision. It wasn't a shouting match, it was a surgical strike wrapped in satire. The fallout? Think less spirited debate, more emotional demolition derby. Honestly, it left more damage than a wine-soaked Thanksgiving with your most unfiltered relatives. And we're here for every glorious second.
Talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. It just happened to coincide.
Let's talk about The View, or as some affectionately call it, daytime TV's group therapy for the politically confused. It's where reason takes a back seat, and hot takes come with a side of high-decibel chaos. There's truly nothing like watching a panel of grown adults loudly debate topics they probably skimmed 5 minutes before going live. While nodding in unison at whatever half-whispered take Whoopi manages to mumble through her post-commercial haze, it's less a talk show, more a performance of collective cognitive dissonance. And somehow, it's still on the air.
That hot mess that they air in the mornings, called The View, had to issue not one, not two, not three, but 4 corrections, legal corrections. 4 legal notes. We only have 3 of them on camera, but look at this.
I have another legal note.
My God.
Both Trump and Pam Bondi have denied allegations of a quid pro quo. I have a legal note.
Not to mention what they did at that debate, where once again, they tried to fact check only one side, and then when their fact checks got fact checked, they cowered. They cowered in fear. I mean, this is a pattern with them.
The View has long marketed itself as a champion of women's voices, but in reality, it's more like a weekly symposium on how to turn brunch-level arguments into primetime melodrama. There's the perpetually aggrieved Joy Behar, who tackles every topic like it personally dumped her in 1987. Sunny Hostin, the legal analyst who treats her JD like it's a moral shield. Alyssa Farah Griffin, the token conservative whose presence feels about as authentic as a vegan at a Texas BBQ. And of course, Whoopi Goldberg, somewhere between moderator, oracle, and part-time nap enthusiast. What's billed as a conversation often feels more like a performance, and not a particularly well-rehearsed one.
I mentioned this karma stuff on the show last week because I was relating how many texts and emails I got from people congratulating me on receiving a karmagram from the universe in the form of Whoopi Goldberg's chastisement. So I thought this would be a good time for a little tutorial on karma, which, as Americans understand it, is nothing more than an extension of the common logical fallacy called post hoc ergo propter hoc.
I've entered Megyn Kelly, someone who, unlike the panelists on The View, actually reads what she's about to argue. She didn't need to step foot on their set. Instead, she lobbed a truth grenade from a safe distance, then walked away in slow motion like the lead in a political thriller. Her takedown was so sharp it practically ricocheted off the studio lights and hit Joy Behar in the Wi-Fi. Kelly's real edge? It's not just that she knows her stuff, it's how she delivers it. Think calm librarian watching toddlers fumble their way through a Nietzsche argument. No yelling, no over-talking, just razor-sharp logic wrapped in icy composure. She called out The View for what it really is. A virtue-signaling echo chamber where debate is an illusion and intellectual rigor is optional. Watching it, she said, is like auditing a class taught by people who never did the reading. And the aftermath? Silence. No rebuttal. Because when someone holds up a mirror that clearly reflects a group project gone completely sideways, what can you really say? The View, ever confident in its bubble, didn't clap back. Because how do you fight someone who dismantled the whole vibe without even entering the room?
Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 47th president of the United States, yay, on January 20th of this month. Not everyone's happy about it, and many people would like us to be more focused on the insurrection that he personally unleashed. If you ask them, as we discussed earlier, they think it's as bad as like the Holocaust, and you don't have to take my word for it. Here is Sunny Hostin of
January
The View
6th was an
today.
atrocity. It was one of the worst moments in American history. And when you think about the worst moments in American history, like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery.
Yeah, the January 6th is right up there next to the Holocaust and slavery.
By the way, out there, that hat that you keep wearing, that red hat that says "Make America Great Again," that tells people that you go along with this. So you might as well just put a swastika on the hat.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because we see it anyway.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump ever, but I would never say that we should put the swastika on the cap, because I think you can hate Donald Trump. You can't hate everybody who likes him. It's half the country. I don't want to live in that country. I don't want to live in the country where I hate half the country, and I don't hate half the country.
How dare you?
Donald Trump will officially be sworn in as the 47th President of the United States on January 20th. Cue the outrage, because not everyone's celebrating. Many critics are still obsessively focused on the January 6th Capitol riot, insisting Trump personally unleashed an insurrection. According to them, it's not just a dark chapter, it's on par with the worst atrocities in human history. Don't believe me? Just listen to The View's Sunny Hostin. January 6th was an atrocity, one of the worst moments in American history. When you think about the worst moments, like World War II, the Holocaust, slavery, January 6th is right up there. Yes, she actually said that. She placed a 3-hour riot, one that's already been investigated, prosecuted, and endlessly politicized, on the same level as the Holocaust and centuries of human enslavement. This is beyond hyperbole. It's reckless historical distortion.
Enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Maher, who has been the standard bearer for liberalism and in many ways leftism until the woke went bananas in this last decade, but for decades, that's what this guy has represented in America. I want you to note the tone they all talk with him. I want you to look at Sunny Hostin's body language and the way they look at him and everything else. Just because he is a lefty who hasn't gone completely bananas, here they are talking about the word woke.
Then there's Bill Maher, a man who's been skewering hypocrisy since long before it became a TikTok trend. He didn't need to step into The View's chaotic arena. He watched from a distance, sipped his politically incorrect cocktail, and roasted them with the weary flair of someone who's seen it all and lost the patience to pretend otherwise. Maher is not exactly a conservative poster boy, far from it. But he's reached that rare status of being equally loathed by the far right and the far left, which usually means he's saying something worth hearing. When he turned his comedic crosshairs on The View, it was